Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with another episode of Stoned As Adventures. We're out here in the most beautiful part of the Noosa National Park, which is the Perigian section. I found this the other day and really love it out here. So we're going to go for a bit of a walk through, and basically there's this beautiful open space that absolutely I find to be breathtaking, because it's just a nice big open space which is really chill. But it's every time, ooh, that's a spider web, every time I get out into the trees and into nature, it's just such a beautiful experience. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you can hear, there's all the birds around, and they're just, I love listening to the birds, especially these little songbirds that get around here. And it's just sort of, yeah, so beautiful. But today in the episode, what we're going to talk about is just a bit about life and sort of moving through difficulty in life and setback and challenges. And for me, it's very important, to, like, how I move through difficulties and challenges in life is by getting back to my roots. You know what I mean? And my ancestry comes from the Celtic people, and the Celtic people were forest dwellers in the south of France. So I absolutely love it when I get out into the trees and back into nature, because it just sort of is that traditional link for me that brings me back to where, my ancestors were. And sort of back to, what I can imagine their lives would have been like, being surrounded by all this greenery, by these beautiful trees and plants, and it's just so breathtaking, because the other day when I was out here, I was quite stressed, not so much stressed, but I was, stressed and upset within myself. And, I love coming out here because this is my link to God. To me, this, all around me, nature, this is my idea of God. This is my idea of, what a higher power would be. Is the higher power is life. It's not some man up in the sky. It's not, this disjointed idea of churches and megalithic structures. It's nature. It's the beauty of, if you can hear the ocean, if you can hear the songbirds, like, it's just such a beautiful experience. But it's also, being around these plants and these trees and these animals, they're all giving off energy. So when we're low on energy and we're feeling, stressed and disjointed within ourselves, it's really, for me, it's important to get back to, life, to, nature. Because I always feel that no matter how stressed I am, once I'm out in nature, away from, society and all of that, I'm just you know, I'm back to being free, to my idea of freedom. And it's very funny because for so long, you know, I thought, you know, I needed all these external things to sort of free myself. You know what I mean? I believed that I needed money to feel free. I needed, you know, money to feel liberated. But it's just, look at how beautiful it is out here. And we've got all the little flowers. It's just sort of, it's a funny thing, but when we're in nature, the reason it always feels so meditative, if I can say that word right, is because, so many trees. Whoop, got so much hanging around on me. But it's sort of like, ow, son of a bitch, I burnt my fingers. But it's like, so much of like meditation is about shutting off our conscious mind and sort of just becoming connected to the life, connected to the universe. And it's like, that's the thing. So when we're in nature, I'm just wrapping up my cord. When we're in nature and out and about, the reason it's so relaxing is because we're taking in everything. We're checking everything out. You know, we don't have the sounds or the, I guess, the pressures. I'm just trying to find the path because we're off the beaten track now. But it's like, when I'm out in nature, when I'm out trekking through the bush, even though this isn't really, like, it's light bush, I'd call it, but it's not really, you know, being out in the bush, because we're like literally 5 minutes from a town. But it's like, when we're out here, away from everything, can't hear any sort of, any aspects or, you know, any cars. All there is the sounds of nature, the ocean. The beach is literally just maybe 500 meters over those mountains or mounds or hills, however you want to call them. But it's like, I realize this, that whenever I'm stressed or whenever I'm feeling myself getting overwhelmed within myself, if I can get out into a nice big patch of nature, I can sort of allow my conscious mind to shut down and sort of just be. Because that's the human experience, is that idea of just being. Alan Watts talks about this, about the being, where that's when we know, or that's when we realize what we actually are in life, is when we're able to just be. You know what I mean? When we don't have to do or have anything, when we can just be within ourselves. And that's sort of one thing I love. But I also love this walking meditation that I do, which is being connected to nature. So being among plants, being among the trees, the grasslands. And it's sort of like, if you think about energetic exchanges, when I touch a plant, when I touch a tree, there is a form of an energetic exchange sort of happening where, you know, that tree is giving off energy and I through the sensation of touch and feeling, am sort of like picking that up. And it's a very, very cool thing that I've realized. But the other thing is that, you know, while I'm out here and I'm appreciating these plants, in my mind, every time I'm touching them, I'm telling them that I love them. And it's a funny thing because how it works in psychology is when I'm constantly saying I love you, even if it's just to trees and plants, okay, what is actually happening is in my conscious or subconscious mind, I am constantly repeating the phrase, I love you. And that's a really good thing, because what that allows, or what that does, well, we're going to barge through this bit of trees, but what that allows us to do and what that does for us is, because we're constantly repeating to ourselves, I love you, or, you know, I will, you know, greet the trees by calling them my loves, because, yeah, I am a tree hippie, and I'm okay with that, because without all these plants, without all these trees, there would be no oxygen for me to breathe. So it's sort of like, to me, it's very, very important to give back and sort of respect and honor the trees for what they give me in life, which is the air to breathe, the oxygen. You know what I mean? And it's something that helps me to personally ground myself, because, like, if I'm acknowledging and respecting trees, which are typically seen as one of the lower life forms by the majority of people, it's sort of like, ooh, hopefully there's no snakes. It's sort of like, you know, I'm detaching from that ego aspect of my mind. Oh, you know what I mean? And I'm out here sort of, you know, in and amongst everything. And it's just, to me, it's a very, very beautiful experience, because, sorry, if you can see, we're just going along, and it's like, I like it because everything's so low, so it feels so much more open, but it's also like, you know, just taking the time to look around, to be a part of nature, to appreciate nature and what it is. Like, you know, these plants, these trees have been here for hundreds to thousands of years, unaltered. You know what I mean? And we can't go that way, because she's a little bit, if you can see, a little bit chockers. And I don't want to destroy the trees by walking all over them. But it's like, yeah, I find it to be very soothing and relaxing. But the other thing is I'm trying to, I guess, become more fearless, in the sense that I'm trying to get rid of my fears of being a part of nature. Because I notice it so much. Whoopsies. Sorry, buddy. But I notice that so much that, like, you know, how I used to be is I would be terrified if stuff was touching me. But I've realized, just from my own experience, the more I do this, in terms of the more I walk through plants and grass and through nature and through bushland, the more relaxed I am doing it, which is an awesome thing, because for so long in my life I was terrified by the idea that snakes and spiders would come and attack me if I was in nature. And it's so funny because the more I've done it, like, you know, I go barefoot, but the more I do it, the more relaxed I am. And I find this to be very soothing to walk through there and just appreciate every aspect that is around me. You know what I mean? Sorry, I just had to check and make sure that wasn't going to be a spider I step on. But it's like, you know, and this is sort of different than hiking in the sense of, like, I'm not really walking at a set pace or anything like that. I'm sort of having to step over things and look and move through these trees and these shrubs and these bushes. But it's just like, it's absolutely beautiful. And this has always been something that I've wanted to do within myself, is be able to go out there and explore areas that I have never seen before. You know what I mean? And it's just like to be able to take in and appreciate the majesty and beauty that is around me. Like, how amazing is this? It's a beautiful day. We've got the birds around. It's nice and sunny. And it's just like, you know, this is the sort of stuff that inspires me, that makes me feel like I'm having a rich life existence, like my life is fuller when I am around and a part of nature rather than being disjointed from nature. And it's a really cool thing. I think we'll go through here. And it's like every time I do this, I become a little bit more confident to go a little bit deeper, to go a little bit further, you know, to take a little bit riskier of a path. Sorry, that was a bit terrifying. Like, and that's the funny thing, is it's still like, it's relaxing to me, but it's also still a little bit terrifying. But it's just like so absolutely beautiful that I want to personally be able to break that feeling of terror so that I'm able to experience all of nature. You know what I mean? To be able to come and experience, like, look at how beautiful that is. It's just, you know, we got these beautiful trees. See you later, mate. We had stuff on our legs. But it's like, yeah. This is what I love sharing, is one, the places that I want to go, but also that, oh, there's a little bee there, that we don't have to be afraid of nature, even though we may have fears of spiders, fears of snakes, fears of insects and bugs. And it's like, if we can remain calm and sort of calmly navigate and put ourselves in these uncomfortable or discomfort, like in this discomfort, we're sort of able to build this, oh Jesus, something touched me. We're able to build this not tolerance, but like this realization that life isn't going to attack me when I'm in life. I hope something doesn't attack me now that I've said that, but it's sort of like